own class of jobs and occupations. I invited you to share, to see if we could explore other options, other jobs and occupations not mentioned on the list. So you could continue developing your vocabulary in regards to the names of professions, jobs, and occupations. All right, so that was our vocabulary review. And now we're going to get to the warm-up for this lesson of likes and dislikes. So the directions of this warm-up is to fill in the blank and complete the following sentences. So just to share with you, before we get into the warm-up, you will also find the warm-up in my Teachers Pay Teachers account. I just wanted to share with you what that will look like. So teachers, you could distribute the handout, the warm-up handout, as you see on your screen, to students. It could be a PDF copy, be paper-based, or it could be a computer-based warm-up exercise. So you could distribute it or just share it with them online in the computer-based format. All right, so I'm going to go back to the lesson presentation. Just wanted to share that with the teachers and students that they have that option. All right, now share this tab instead. All right, so what I would invite teachers and students to do is to pause the video so students can work on the warm-up. And once the students have completed the warm-up, come back to the video so that way you could go over the answers. What I did as a teacher in the classroom, I randomly called on students to share their responses, or even before then, have students share the responses with each other, have a pair partner. They could share their responses with a classmate or in the classroom, and then you could share it with the whole class. So it's totally up to the teacher. Every teacher has their own teaching style. As long as students are learning, that's what matters. All right, so at this point, I'm expecting that all students have already completed this warm-up. So we're going to just go over the answers. All right, so we'll start with number one. I like. So notice here the beginning of the sentence starts with the subject I, and we talked about in the last class, when you start a class or a sentence with I, that is first person. So I like is first person. So in this example, we'll just give the example of pizza. So answers will vary. Not all answers have to be the same. So there's no concrete answer in this warm-up. It's just give an example what you like and don't like. So as long as it makes sense and the grammar is correct, that's what we're looking at. So aquí las respuestas va a haber más de una respuesta en cada una de estas oraciones. No todas las respuestas van a ser iguales. Entonces, esto es asunto de sus gustos y disgustos. Okay, so number one, I like pizza. Number two, I don't like broccoli. I don't like broccoli. So some people like broccoli, others do not. So again, this is an opinion-oriented response. Entonces, asunto es su opinión y sus gustos. No todos van a tener los mismos gustos. Entonces, no hay ninguna respuesta que es correcta o incorrecta. Estos asuntos de los gustos de cada individual. So number three, my favorite color is... So again, not everyone has the same favorite color. So you're more than welcome to choose your own favorite color. So my favorite color is blue. So other people could put red. I know girls choose pink. So it's totally up to you and what your favorite color is. My favorite food is, again, you're talking about my favorite food. That's also first person. When you're talking about yourself or talking about something that relates to you, it's first person. My favorite food is tacos. So again, does not have to be your favorite food. Everyone has their own particular favorite food. Here's just a random a variety of responses for this warm-up. So if you put something else other than tacos, that's great. And that creates variety. We're all different. We don't all have the same taste buds. No todos tenemos el mismo gusto de sabor. Todos tenemos nuestra preferencia. All right, so this is just a warm up. The purpose of this warm up was to practice using like, don't like, and also using the term favorites. I mean, favorito. So favorite is favorito. Don't like, no me gusta. Like, me gusta. So those are the terms that we're going to be applying in today's lesson. Okay, so that is our warm up. So as we just finished discussing and using, we talked about like as gustar. So this is the vocabulary list. So what we're gonna do was we'll read each word 2 times, just like we did in the vocabulary review. Now we're exposing students to the words that relate to likes and dislikes. And on the right-hand side is the Spanish translation, exclusively for Spanish-speaking ESL newcomers. Okay, so the translations to be used as a guide to help you comprehend what the word is stating. All right, we'll read each word 2 times. Let's all begin. Like, like, gustar. Don't like, don't like. So don't is basically the construction word of do not. So we'll get into construction words in a different lesson, but just to emphasize here, don't is basically 2 words, do not put as one. So that's what we call construction words. So with a apostrophe, you see the apostrophe T. So don't, do not. And then don't like, do not like, do not like, which is basically no gustar or no me gusta. So favorite, favorite. You can see the 5-star image relating to favorite, que en español es favorito o favorita. Then least favorite, least favorite, menos favorito o menos favorita. Love, love, encantar o amar. Love. We talked about love in our lesson on emotions. So we're just coming across it once more. It could also be used to use as a term regarding your likes, what you like or what you love. Love. Hate, hate, odiar. So when you're talking about dislikes, you could use the term hate. Hate. Prefer, prefer, preferir. Don't prefer, don't prefer, no preferir. Want, want, querer. Don't want, no querer. Enjoy, enjoy, disfrutar. Don't enjoy, no disfrutar. Okay. So we talk about likes and dislikes. These are all a variety of terminologies that we could use. Dislike, dislike, disgustar. So we talked about dislike in the warm-up. Also here, not only are we using terminology of what we like and dislike, but the things that we dislike or the things we like, I also added to this vocabulary list. So one thing we can enjoy eating in regards to food is rice. Rice, arroz. Chicken, chicken, pollo. Beans, beans. Frijoles. Salad, salad. Ensalada. Fruit, fruit. Fruta. Okay, so we're also taking into account food that we may like or dislike. Also sports or physical activities. You may like doing particular activities or sports. You may dislike it. So totally up to you. So let's mention some sports here. Soccer, soccer, fútbol. Basketball, basketball, baloncesto o básquetbol. Baseball, baseball, béisbol. Volleyball, volleyball, voleibol. Swimming, swimming. Natación, nadar o nadando. Swimming. Running, running. Correr, corriendo. Running. Also, events we may enjoy or not enjoy. So let's talk about some events. Party, party, fiesta. Birthday, birthday. Cumpleaños. Music, music. Música. Dancing, dancing. Baile, bailar, bailando. School, school. Escuela. Vacation, vacation. Vacaciones. Vacation. All right, so those are the 30 words, including the translation. Now we'll just read each word vertically on a vertical basis, and we'll read each word 2 times. Like, like. Don't like, don't like. Favorite, favorite. Least favorite, least favorite. Love, love. Hate, hate. Prefer, prefer. Don't prefer, don't prefer. Want, want. Don't want, don't want. Enjoy, enjoy. Don't enjoy, don't enjoy. Dislike, dislike. Rice, rice. Chicken, chicken. Beans, beans. Salad, salad. Fruit, fruit. Soccer, soccer. Basketball, basketball. Baseball, baseball. Volleyball, volleyball. Swimming, swimming. Running, running. Party, party. Birthday, birthday. Music, music. Dancing, dancing. school, school. Vacation, vacation. So those are our 30 vocabulary words for this lesson. We talked about likes and dislikes. We also include food, sports, physical activities, events. Okay, so obviously there's more to it. These are only 30 words, 30 vocabulary words associated with likes and dislikes. All right, now let's move on. Also, before we move on, I also want to share with you the vocabulary drill exercise that you could also obtain in my Teachers Pay Teachers store if you haven't already. I want to mention or share with you the vocabulary drill. Just give me a moment. And share this tab. So here is the vocabulary drill exercise, similar to what we just went over in the lesson presentation. And there's two parts to it. And the first part, students will be reading each word out loud 3 times each. So there's a Spanish translation on the right-hand side, just like in the lesson presentation. Students will read aloud each word or the vocabulary words 3 times each. They could do it independently or with a partner. And then that's the first part, part A. And after they have read all 30 vocabulary words out loud 3 times each, they will come to part B. And in part B of the vocabulary drill exercise, students will be writing each vocabulary word 10 times each. As we read the instructions, part B, likes and dislikes, write every vocabulary word 10 times each. So here's a vocabulary word, like. So they could handwrite, do all 10 words handwritten with using a pencil, or they could do it digitally. It could be computer-based exercise, or it could be a paper-based exercise. I personally prefer paper-based exercise because when you're using your hands in your writing, it will help you record more in your brain. That's how the brain operates and learns when you're doing more with your hand. And you do it 10 times each correctly, that's going to record more and you're going to remember. That's muscle memory. Entonces, aquí tienen parte B, lo que mencioné en parte A es van a leer cada palabra 3 veces cada una. Son las 30 palabras de vocabulario. Van a leer 3 veces cada una las palabras de vocabulario. Y a la derecha, en la mano derecha, tienen la traducción español. Y cuando lleguen a parte B del ejercicio, van a escribir cada palabra de vocabulario 10 veces. Esto puede ser digital o puede ser en papel. Yo personalmente prefiero que lo escriban en papel, así van a comprender y van a acordarse más por escribiendo con la mano. So you'll be writing every word or phrase. Remember, there are some phrases. Don't like is a phrase. Write it 10 times. There's plenty of space. I gave you 5 lines to write your 10 vocabulary words on. Or they're all 30 vocabulary words on, but you'll be writing every vocabulary word 10 times each. So there's plenty of space in these 5 lines for you to write each vocabulary word 10 times each. Okay. So that'll take approximately 30 minutes or so. Obviously, if you need more time, you could have more time depending if you want to use that as a homework exercise or a flipped classroom method exercise. You could do that as well. Totally up to you. The important thing is, as I've mentioned already, is that you're learning. Students are learning how to spell. This is not only a vocabulary exercise, this is also a spelling exercise, how to spell the words correctly. Okay. All right. So I incorporate the translation here in part B as well. All right. So that is your vocabulary drill exercise I wanted to share with you. You can obtain it as also in my TPT or Teachers Pay Teachers store, JuanCarlosESL. All right. So that is our vocabulary exercise. Now let's return to our lesson presentation. All right, so let's continue with our guided practice. So in guided practice, we're going to take into account the grammar focus, how like and don't like is used. So when it comes to